Sometimes when you're solving polynomial equations, you're going to end up with a quadratic trinomial. In that case, you're going to factor it. This is just like we learned last unit. So when you have a quadratic trinomial in the form ax squared plus bx plus c, you are going to take the a term and the c term, find the product of that. Then you're going to find all the factors of that product. Then you're going to add up those factors and see which one of them equals the b term. Once you have that, that's going to give you the information you need to properly factor this quadratic trinomial. Okay, here's an example. Now take some notes because we're not going to be able to do this all on one screen. So 6x squared plus 11x minus 10. In this case, our A term is the 6, the B term is the 11, and the C term is negative 10. So our first step is to find AC. And 6 times a negative 10 is equal to negative 60. So we are going to find all of the factors of negative 60. Now remember, we're going to want these factors to add up to a positive 11. So I'm going to start and I'm going to say the first option could be 60 times a negative 1. Now when I add those up, I'm going to get 59. And that is not 11, so I'm going to keep going. The next one that comes to mind is 30 and negative 2. When I sum those, I get 28. We are getting closer, but we are not to 11. The next one is 20 times a negative 3 to give me a negative 60 when I multiply those. When I add those, I am going to end up with 17. The next one, the next factors of negative 60, are 15 and a negative 4. When I add those together, I'm going to end up with 11. This is what I'm looking for. So now I am going to rewrite this quadratic trinomial and rewrite it with my b term using these two factors. So let me show you what that means. I'm going to take 6x squared plus 15x minus 4x minus 10. Now, 15x minus 4x is going to equal this a positive 11x. So now that I have it in this format, it's going to be easier for me to break this up into something that I can factor. So looking at this, I can see that the 6 and the 15, those both have common terms of 3, while the negative 4 and negative 10 have common terms of negative 2. So this is going to help me. First, I'm going to rewrite the first two terms, and I can take my greatest common factor of those, and I can see that that is going to be a 3x. I'm going to take that out. That's going to leave me with a 2x plus 5. If you have questions on how to factor out the greatest common factor, see the previous tutorial. Now for the next two terms, I'm going to be able to factor out a negative 2. So I'm going to subtract 2, and that's going to leave me with 2x plus 5. So now I have this and this, which are the same. So I'm going to be able to rewrite those as 2x plus 5. And I'm going to take that quantity and I'm going to combine these. I'm going to take this 2x plus 5, multiply it by 3x minus 2. And that is how I factor 6x squared plus 11x minus 10. Now, if you want to check your work to make sure that it works, we can do that. And I'm going to go ahead and FOIL this now to show you that it works. But this right here is the answer that we're looking for. So if we FOIL this, I'm going to take my first terms, 2x and 3x, multiply those together. I'm going to get 6 x squared. Then I'm going to take my outside terms. So I'm going to take 2x minus 2, 6x squared minus 4x. My inside terms, 5 and 3x plus 15x. And my last terms, 5 and negative 2 minus 10. When I combine my like terms, I get 6x squared plus 11x minus 10, which, as you can see, is the same thing as our original problem. So that proves that this factorization worked.